Imagine two coworkers, Sarah and Jessica. They work at the same office in downtown Chicago. They both deal with the same morning traffic, work for the same tech company, and are roughly the same age. Sarah earns $9,500 a month as a senior manager. Jessica earns $5,200 a month as an assistant. If you walk into Sarah's apartment, you see the latest gadgets everywhere. A brand new MacBook sits on the counter, even though her old one works fine. Her closet is so full of designer clothes that the doors won't stay shut. She has a shiny new SUV in the garage with a monthly payment that eats up $900. When her paycheck hits her bank account, she feels a moment of relief. However, within 3 days, most of that money is gone. She has been telling herself she will start saving once things settle down for 3 years now. Now, look at Jessica's place. It is a smaller apartment in the same neighborhood. She uses a phone that is 4 years old, and it works perfectly. Her closet is neat and organized. She doesn't have a car payment because she takes the train or uses a rideshare when she really needs it. The moment her paycheck arrives, she moves 20% into savings before she spends a single dime. She already has 6 months of living expenses tucked away in a bank account she rarely touches. Even though they work at the same company, the woman earning nearly half as much money sleeps better at night. She worries less and has more freedom to make choices. This story shows that wealth is not about how much you earn. It is about the hidden rules that separate people who are financially safe from people who are always one emergency away from a disaster. It does not matter what your salary is. If you don't have a plan, the money will disappear. Today, I am going to show you the essential rules you must follow to escape the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. These are not just ideas or motivational speeches. These are specific rules that will change how you see, spend, and grow your money. It all starts with one simple idea that will change every financial choice you make for the rest of your life. I'm Presh, a scriptwriter and content creator. I've spent years studying the habits that separate the wealthy from the struggling. My goal is to help you take control of your money and build a life of freedom. If you find this helpful, kindly subscribe and join our family. Most people believe the paycheck trap happens because they do not earn enough money. They think a bigger salary would solve everything. But that is not the truth. The paycheck trap is actually a margin problem. Margin is simply the gap between what you earn and what you spend. If that gap is zero, you have no options. It does not matter if you make millions. If you spend it all, you are still stuck. Financial margin is the only number that truly matters for your peace of mind. It is the actual dollar amount left over after every single bill is paid. Let's look at our two examples again. Sarah earns $9,500, but after her expensive car loan, high rent, and shopping habits, she only has $200 left at the end of the month. Jessica earns $520, but because her costs are low, she has $1,100 left over. Even though Jessica earns much less, she has over 5 times more margin than Sarah. This extra money is the engine that builds a stable life. Every rule we discuss from here on is about creating, protecting, and growing that margin. To protect your margin, you need a simple rule for your behavior. It is called the 48-hour invoice rule. Before you buy anything that isn't a basic need, write it down on a piece of paper or in your phone like an official bill. List the item, the price, and exactly why you need it. Then wait for 2 full days. If you look at that note after 48 hours and the reason still feels important, go ahead and buy it. But if you forget to even check the note, you know you never really needed it in the first place. Most people spend money on things like clothes, gadgets, or takeout food without thinking. In the United States, these small, impulsive choices can easily add up to $150 or $400 every single month. By using this 48-hour rule, you can save between $1,800 and $4,800 every year. The best part is that you aren't cutting out the things you truly value. You are simply stopping the money leaks that happen when you shop while bored or excited. This rule keeps your margins safe. Now that we have a rule for new spending, we must look at the money already leaking out of your bank account. This is called a silent drain audit. Most people have small monthly payments for things like streaming services, gym memberships, or apps they signed up for months ago and forgot to use. These little charges are like a slow leak in a bucket. They might seem small, but they keep your margin from growing. The reason we keep these subscriptions is because of a psychological habit. We feel that canceling them is like admitting we made a mistake, and humans often hate being wrong more than they hate losing money. To fix this, you need to be honest with yourself. Open your bank statement and look at every recurring charge. Ask yourself one simple question: would I choose to pay for this today? If the answer is no, cancel it immediately. Most people in the US find an extra $50 to $150 every single month just by doing this 10-minute check. You aren't changing your lifestyle, you are simply stopping money from flowing to things you don't even use. In our culture, there is a lot of pressure to constantly upgrade. When a coworker gets a new car or a friend moves to a more expensive neighborhood, we feel like we are falling behind. We often buy new things on credit just to keep up. But you must learn to see things as functional. A device is functional until it literally stops doing the job it was made for. Being bored with your old phone is not a malfunction. Your neighbor getting a new car does not mean your current car is broken. Let's look at the actual cost. If you buy a $1,000 phone every 2 years, you will spend $15,000 on phones over 30 years. If you wait and upgrade every 5 years instead, you only spend $6,000. That $9,000 difference might not seem like much now, but if you invested that money, it could grow into over $30,000. That expensive upgrade didn't just cost you $1,000 today. It cost you thousands of dollars in future freedom and options that you are now missing out on. Trying to use willpower to save money is like trying to hold your breath forever. Eventually, you will get tired. You might be disciplined on a Monday morning, but by Friday evening when you are stressed and seeing ads for a big sale, your willpower will fail. People who are financially stable aren't just stronger than you. They have built systems that do the work for them. They make it hard to spend and easy to save without ever having to think about it. To start your system, delete your credit card info from every online store and remove shopping apps from your phone. Unsubscribe from emails that tell you about limited time deals. This makes spending more difficult. Then set up an automatic transfer. Have a portion of your paycheck move to a separate savings account the moment it hits your bank. Do not wait until the end of the month to see what is left. Make sure your savings account is at a different bank where you don't even carry the debit card. When the right choice is automatic and the wrong choice requires a lot of effort, you will finally stop the cycle for good. Every time you get a raise or a bonus, your brain wants to spend that extra money immediately. If you do not decide what enough looks like in writing before the money arrives, your lifestyle will naturally grow to swallow it up. This is just how humans act by default. To break the cycle, you must choose your number on purpose. You have to decide how much money you actually need to live a good life and stick to it, even when you start making more. Let's look at the math. If you decide that you can live happily on $3,500 a month, but you earn $5,000, you have $1,500 in margin every single month. In just 1 year, you will have $18,000 in the bank that didn't exist before. This happened because you drew a line in the sand. Remember Jessica? She made this choice a long time ago. When she got a raise, she didn't buy a better car or move to a bigger place. The extra money didn't change her daily life, it changed her future options. Write your number down today and date it. Only check it once a year, not every time your paycheck gets bigger. Many people think that staying broke is a sign of laziness or not being smart enough, but that is not true. Even very intelligent people get stuck in the paycheck trap because of how the brain handles stress. When you feel worried about money, it creates a constant feeling of anxiety. To feel better, your brain looks for a quick reward, like buying something new. This purchase gives you a tiny burst of happiness, but that feeling only lasts for a few hours. The debt and empty bank account that follow last for months, which creates even more anxiety. This is a physical cycle called scarcity stress. Scientists have found that when people are worried about money, they actually have a harder time making good decisions. Their brains are so busy dealing with stress that they run out of mental energy. You cannot just wish this away. The only way to stop it is to build that margin we talked about. Once you have an emergency fund and your savings are automatic, your brain starts to feel safe. When the underlying fear goes away, the urge to spend money just to feel better starts to disappear too. Life usually follows one of two cycles. In the first cycle, you protect your margin on purpose. This causes your savings to grow. When a surprise bill arrives, you pay it easily without any stress. Because you aren't worried, you don't feel the need to spend money to feel better. This makes your margin even wider. Each time this loop turns, your life gets easier. In the second cycle, your paycheck arrives and is immediately swallowed up by bills and impulses. Your bank account hits zero before the next payday. This makes your stress level rise. To cope, you spend money on small treats for relief, which keeps you broke. Each time this loop turns, it feels harder to escape. The most important thing to know is that you don't need a huge event to change loops. The good cycle starts with just one automatic transfer today. The bad cycle starts by saying, I'll fix it next month. These loops are not about how much you earn or how lucky you are. They are about whether you create a margin on purpose or leave it to chance. You can choose the better loop right now with exactly what you earn today. You do not need to wait for a better time to start. This week, open your last bank statement and perform a silent drain audit. Look at every recurring payment. If you did not choose to use it this month, cancel it immediately. Whatever money you save from those cancellations, move it directly into a separate savings account right away. During this month, start using the 48-hour invoice rule for any purchase over $50. Keep a simple note on your phone called pending purchases. You will be surprised to see how many things you actually decide not to buy once the 2 days are up. Over the next few months, write down your number. Figure out exactly how much your lifestyle costs right now. Once you have that number, set up an automatic transfer for the difference between your costs and your income. Give the savings account a strong name, like options or freedom. Use a bank account that makes it a little hard to get the money out instantly. This gives you time to think and lets your margin grow safely. Success is simply a series of small, smart moves.
Think back to Jessica. She didn't build her savings because she had a giant salary. She reached that goal because she named her margin, built a system to protect it, and stopped upgrading a life that was already working just fine. She didn't suffer or live a bad life. She simply stopped letting her paycheck decide how she should live. On the other hand, Sarah isn't a bad person. She is just following the default path. In our world today, the default setting is to spend your money first and try to save whatever is left over. But as we have seen, what is left over is almost always nothing. Both of these paths are open to you right now. You have to decide if you will take control of your margin on purpose or if you will leave it to chance and wonder why your bank account never grows. You do not need a higher salary to escape the paycheck trap. You just need to draw a line in the right place. Draw that line today.